This video explains percentage yields and atom economy and how to calculate values for both. The first thing to say on this is that they are not the same thing, and students often get confused with one or the other. So let's look at some key definitions of what each of these two things are. Percentage yield can be determined using this equation, whereas atom economy needs to be determined using this equation. Both percentage yields and atom economy are expressed in percentages. So let's look at a typical problem of how we go about working out percentage yield. So on the screen is a typical problem. A lot of words. The key thing is that we have an equation for a reaction, and we are told the mass of ethanol that we start with, and we're told the mass of the ethanoic acid which is formed. And before we continue, we need to note the stoichiometry of the equation. So we need to remember that theoretically one of these will produce one of these. So then 1 mole of this in an ideal situation, 100% conversion, will produce 1 mole of this. So the first stage of this equation is to work out how many moles of the ethanol we have at the start of the reaction. So to do that, we use our general mole equation. Number of moles equals the mass of the substance over its molar mass. And in this case, with the ethanol, we're told that we have 9.2 grams. And we can work out its molar mass, which is 46. So the number of moles of ethanol we have at the outset is 0.2 moles. And because we've got 0.2 moles of ethanol, if we add 100% percentage yield, we ought to get 0.2 moles of this ethanoic acid. So the next thing to do is to work out how many moles of ethanoic acid we do actually get, and we do that like this. Using the same general equation, number of moles equals mass over molar mass, we take the 4.35 grams of the ethanoic acid which is formed in this reaction and divide it by its molar mass, which in this case is 60. So we actually get formed 0.0725 moles of ethanoic acid. So we have a difference, don't we? This is the actual number of moles that we get formed, and this is the number of moles that we would expect to get formed because of the equation. 1 mole of this, theoretically, with 100% percentage yield, would give 1 mole of this. So 0.2 moles of this ought to give 0.02 moles of this. But it doesn't. It gives 0.0725 moles. So now we're in a simple position of calculating the percentage yield. So using our answers, our percentage yield in this is the actual amount in moles of the product, which was the moles of the ethanoic acid formed, which is 0.0725 moles, over the theoretical amount in moles of the product, which we already know should be 0.2 moles. So substituting the values into this equation, 0.0725 divided by 0.2 times 100, we get a percentage yield for this equation of 36.25%. So the overall answer to this question is that the percentage yield for this equation, when 9.2 grams of ethanol react to form 4.35 grams of ethanoic acid, is 36.25%. And that's how we do percentage yield calculations. In the next video in the series, we will look at how to determine atom economy. Thank you.